Hello to NSG 342 folks, Dr. Hastings here. So with week 11, we're taking a turn. We had built up all these weeks to the critique paper, and I'll get that back in a few weeks. But in all, that whole notion about how you look at the research process and do it in a practical way by evaluating a scholarly work, a paper, a research project. Those were the key foundations that we have to having an appreciation for the research process. As a consumer of research, we know professional nurses are in the position where we want them to be able to understand and utilize the information coming from a project, realizing what is good information, what is credible information versus less so. So within that process, we're moving forward. Part of the process that would be done if you were connecting to a project or you were conducting a research study would be the literature review. So this week, we look at that. And you've done this for multiple papers and multiple courses within both your programs, let's just say, but certainly in the ABSN program. So how do you do a literature search? So the DQ this week really talks about the steps. So think about that from the standpoint of what is a good literature review process. And that's, of course, using a good library resource like the Farley Library at Wilkes and considering the LibGuides as well as the ability to access key information databases like CINAHL. All right, so look within the process, and certainly Farley does give you some guidance on doing a good lit search. But that said, consider how it's done. And you have an example from a paper Dr. Victor published back in 2013 that we have attached here. So those search strategies matter for the DQ, and they support also your annotated bibliography assignment as well, which is basic, but some of the papers, 5 of the papers from that search would apply to what you would use for the annotated bib. Now, this is all about you searching a problem that you value, some kind of problem in nursing, a phenomenon, on clinical type of setting, an experience within a clinical practice situation that is appealing to you. All right, so consider that then. Do things that you would have liked to study, if you have not already, in other classes, some topics that resonate with you, whether it's a specialty within nursing, whether it is a consideration within a specialty. So like for me, within the context of mental health, I tend to think about things that might be associated with improving therapeutic relationships, reducing restraint utilization in a clinical environment, on a mental health treatment unit. Those kind of things that are just some subtopics that come out from your interest as a professional towards nursing and healthcare now. So this project should be pretty basic and pretty fun, actually, then too, between the DQ and then also the annotated bib. Now remember, we're leading up to a topic that you value also for the evidence-based practice considerations in terms of understanding that and applying it, and that relates to the PICO experience coming up then too. Examination of content around that and the process with a poster you're going to be doing. So remember, I put out a few announcements recently that are getting you at least some idea about these things coming up and what we might be doing. So here I wanted to give you another quick video vignette describing what week 11 focus would be. So get back with any questions, but this should be a lot of fun this week then too, and really bringing you to the latter portion of the course as we delve into PICO. We think about a good application of nursing research and the research process relative to how that applies to evidence-based practice and the PICO process then too. And that's going to be relevant for some of you going on to graduate school in particular, but also those are going to be going into nursing residency programs and some healthcare systems with some sophisticated orientation processes to which they will recruit you into committees when you are in the professional realm and working as an RN on the floor. So consider that then too moving forward. This all matters. All right, very good. Thank you for your attention. Have a great week moving forward. We'll see you out there in the DQ.